FONZI research special.
This one
in
wasn't
the next 5 episodes.
This one wasn't much of research. I just saw a tweet that ignited some thoughts, and I wanted to discuss them here in the pod.
Yes, and we're gonna go conquer. So, you ready?
We're gonna go conquer.
Yeah.
Conquer what?
Conquer the content, baby. Go conquer.
Let's go.
Here we go.
We've got
Hey, I'm Luis.
And this is Luis.
And you're listening to the Content is Profit podcast.
In here, you're gonna get the insights, accountability, and drive to create consistently and increase revenue.
You hear from top entrepreneurs, creators, and anything and everything you need to know about content. All this while having a good time.
The goal of this podcast is simple: entertain, educate, and turn your content into profit. And seems like it might be to blow your ears off too. It's loud, bro.
It's all good. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever in the world you are.
That's true.
That's right. Well, anyways, today, Fonzie, what are we talking about?
I just stopped it. I registered your comment late. The way that you laugh, I don't know why I found this so funny. It's good morning, afternoon, night, whatever you are. I don't know
what's happening with you today.
I don't know why I find that so funny.
We're recording this at 5 in the afternoon. That's what's happening.
Either way, today we're talking about accuracy or facts, if you want to say, or opinion. What is more important for podcasting? I want to add a little bit of, a little kind of like slash in there. What is more important for podcasting / brand building?
Ooh, I like it. I can't wait to dive in. But before that, if you are enjoying this show, please go ahead and follow it, download all the episodes, listen to them, give us feedback, love on it. You know what the drill is at BIZBROS.
That is right. And if today's episode helped you move one step closer towards your goal, please don't forget to share it and leave a 5-star review.
So the main question to answer: what should you base your podcast on? News or personal opinion?
Good. I'm gonna share the tweet that kind of like ignited this thought process. It was by somebody called Justin Welsh. He's pretty big in the LinkedIn world. He's pretty big at building audiences, and I'll say that he is pretty comfortable being polarizing too. And the tweet specifically said, once you realize the whole world is run by shameless self-promoters, you almost have no choice but to put yourself out there. The tweet has 500,000 views, 350 comments, 600 retweets, and about 3,800 likes or hearts or whatever. Love.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty good too. I know you would like it. I know you're gonna be like, "Let's go, Justin."
Let's go, Justin. The reason I say this is because obviously we've seen what good, what can publishing do good for you. For those listening right now, I just hit the record button on Rodecaster, so you might listen to a better quality audio right starting now.
We'll see. Oh my
Episode 371 and still rookie mistakes. That's all good. Thank you guys for sticking with us. If you did not leave after last episode, after Fonzie's comment.
Well, after the first 5 minutes.
Anyways, but this is the message obviously that we preach for every single company that we talk to. And obviously we get the chance to work with amazing people that are these thought leaders, right? And they want to put their message out there. But today, more important than ever, right? You have to become that media company. You have to control your message in many ways. And then there's other stuff. But I know that you have some thoughts about this. What's the hypothesis?
I have a hypothesis out of all of this, and it is the more opinion and predictions you add to news and content, you set yourself up to be more entertaining and stand out even more. And I am pretty confident to say that I can bet anybody that 80% of the content that you consume is somebody's opinions out there. Like, you're going to be like, I agree with this person, and you love their opinion and what they say. Do they share facts? I'm sure they do 100%. But most of the people, like Justin said, that make it out there and make it big and build audiences, they are opinionated.
Yeah.
That is something I've been fighting with for a while, not going to lie.
Being opinionated?
Yeah.
You are opinionated in I can't say that word. Opinionated in certain things.
He's had a long day of meetings.
Yes. This is my last one.
It's not a meeting. This is a fun part.
That's what we left out. 5 is happy hour something. somewhere. But where have you been trying to be opinionated?
That's the thing. I don't feel like I've been very opinionated. And I think most people try to go the safe route of delivering value, and I'm doing air quotes here,
Mm,
by posting content or sharing content on like how to, right?
mm.
Like how to grow your brand on social media,
Because
build,
it's
have,
searchable.
like understand your audience, but
Mm.
and we could come here and be all opinionated and be like, understand your audience. You just need to, have opinions and be loud, and some people are just gonna stick like behind you. Like
You don't have
that.
to
That's
be loud. You can
I
have your
know.
opinion.
I'm just throwing like an example.
Okay.
You know, but I think like sure the how to type of content is very valuable, but I think now it's also done so much that it's just more of the noise,
Yeah,
right?
and you tune out, right?
And then you tune out, and sure, again, it can be valuable, but I think that lack of opinion in it, like takes away that unique point of view, or maybe something that like ignites a fire on people. Even if you have an opinion and it doesn't resonate with people, they're probably more likely to leave a response and push your content because they're disagreeing, rather than just read about it and be like, it's okay. I don't agree with this. Let me move on because there's no opinion that causes a fire inside of me. And I'm guilty of being very passive with the content, not so much, share my raw opinions.
I like it, bro. The first step is always acknowledging the truth. There we go. Studio clap
Hi,
for you.
my name is FONZI, and I'm not very opinionated.
But
I come here to develop some
yeah,
opinions.
and I remember initially a while back when we first started, working in social media and with all this stuff. I remember one specific clip that we did in a fitness studio. Do you remember this? With take it down.
Yeah.
Well, that was exactly the same thing, right? They recorded this long form type of episode with a coach. They said a joke about a bodybuilding situation that was happening, and then that was a clip that was selected and that was published. And all of a sudden, at 10:30 at night, we hear this comment. They're like, uh, we hear like there's a call right from the manager of the whole region, and they're like, take the post down right now. And I'm like, what's happening? So I log back in, and obviously there's the clip without context, right, can sound very polarizing and opinionated, which is great in this specific case scenario. And I was like, we're not taking this down. This thing is going, semi-viral. It has thousands of views. It has 300 comments. People are like actively in there. We're not doing this. And the guy's like, you have to take it down. I'm like, why are you taking it down? So as you read the comments, right, you see people that are siding with the studio because apparently the person that was against the comment, they were kicked out of the studio. So we're defending their coaches, and that's a good thing for the market, right? And that's also a good thing because you're pushing away the people that you don't want in your thing, right? Your message itself becomes that filter. And I remember that very vividly. And we share this story a ton with the people that we work with when we talk about polarization and how to get comfortable. And it's not an easy thing, right? We've been doing this for a while, and we're still developing like what is our opinion on these specific things. I believe blindly, like, podcast works, right? How? Couple ways. But obviously, podcast works to grow your business 100%, especially the system that we've installed in here. And if you want to know more, let us know. Shoot us a DM. But every single person tell me podcast does not work, I am so sorry. You are wrong. And I can go ahead and that's my opinion on the medium, like everybody else. And I don't know if that's polarizing enough. Maybe not. But initially, when we were exposed to stuff like this, people like Grant Cardone, for example, today, he's a very opinionated guy.
And I feel like he used to be way more
he
when he
used
was
to be
like
way,
when he was
yes,
going like even harder on marketing. I feel like he would
way.
be way more opinion and I mean
I'm
he rallied
polarizing, right?
people.
He
Yeah.
filtered out he filtered out a ton of people that were not in sync with that. And I think like his message has changed over the years. But then you see somebody like Ryan Pineda, right? Like he's at least in my feed, he's everywhere. He's also a real estate guy. He does a ton of content. Or even Alex Hormozy, right? He has these points of view that are like really specific, and they truly believe, and they can back up with actions and data at the same time, right? So that goes hand in hand with the question that we're trying to answer, right? How do you include and how do you measure both of them? How do you
Yeah.
like merge them
Yeah.
together?
I mean, I think it's not a matter of like you got to pick one or the other. I think it's a matter of having both. But I think most people just do one, which is, let me go for the facts. Let me like read the news and share more about this topic, but not necessarily infuse it with my own thoughts and what I believe, which, again, sharing your opinion and standing your ground
Mm.
just exudes confidence at the end of the day. Like, people hear your opinion over and over and over again, and your stands over and over and over again, and they're gonna be like, this guy is confident on what he is saying, like, either I believe it or I think it's total BS and I'm gonna head out. But the people that believe it,
Mm.
they're gonna be part of your community. Again, obviously, you're not trying to like lie to the people that you're trying to help, disclaimer right there.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can have a strong stance on one of the topics,
Yeah.
and that kind of goes hand in hand with what Alan Weiss says. And he says, to be the expert, not like a expert, like the expert, you got to publish, publish, publish. But he talks a lot about publishing like predictions and your own opinion, right? Because a lot of people publish very consistently, but again, their content is like how to set up your studio for podcasting, have a light, have a backlight. Like, cool, sure, like those are some actionable steps. But what about, I'm like, you know what, you don't really need a light, because guess what, you can use your window right here and it's going to give you some natural light. Damn, I look good right now.
Actually, yeah, you can just leave it open. It looks better.
But so you is that, or some people might be like, you don't need actually none of these things. You can just record your podcast on your phone, and if you really want to do it, you're just going to start taking action, whatever, right? Have opinions about the fact. I think that positioned you as the expert, even above from all the other bottom of the barrel experts.
Yeah, and I think, right, like if we go down this rabbit hole, that you open these kind of worms of internal beliefs, internal fears, in many ways, like different things. So, how do you get over that if you are trying to publish? Like, again, if you are a company and you are a CEO or you're in a position of leadership, right, you better be in alignment with the values of that company, right? You truly believe in the product that you guys sell. You truly believe in the service that you guys do, on how you help people, right? Because obviously, if you believe that, then you're going to be able to serve. And what was the tweet that you shared with me the other day with Alex? Is like, most business owners don't use their own product.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why they struggle to kind of sell it, right? 100%. It's the same thing with content, right? Like, how are you going to talk about these things? And, I do get very passionate about it because, I think our life has changed dramatically since we started the podcast in many ways, not only monetary, but also in the people that we've met, in our networking, in our opportunities, and the different things, different events that we've been able to go. So that's why I personally feel very passionate about this medium, because it's opened the doors to so many things, wonderful things that maybe 2-3 years ago did not happen. So, you can also, there's people also that believe like that on YouTube. Same thing, right? We haven't really tackled YouTube, so we don't have a personal experience, but we've seen other people do the platform and hear their opinions about it, right? Like, some people think YouTube is better than podcasting, for example. I do think that you can leverage podcasting for both platforms, right? Up to a level, right? FONZI might feel different, and that's okay, right? But at the end of the day, can we back up what we say? And if you are publishing today, can you operate at a level where you feel comfortable sharing that message, because it's going to be so important? And sometimes we feel that we're going to rule people out, but guess what? You're also going to be attracting so many people to your message.
Yeah, you're gonna be like a stronger magnet. You're gonna repel stronger, but you're gonna attract stronger too. Now, is that to say not to pay attention?
You didn't laugh at my joke.
My neck hurts. Dude, you tackle me. That's not to say don't care about facts, because those are important too, right? And there's a lot of people that like to justify a lot of things, obviously through logic, right? And they need the facts, and also facts and news can be a good basis, right, to kick off your opinion. So I personally don't believe it's a matter of one or the other. Like, do I just share, the facts and news, or do I just share my opinion? I think it's a little bit of both, right? Again, I think, self-criticism right here for us. I think we could have come up with a few good logical stats, found some logical stats for this episode on like how many, podcast episodes are there about just news, right? And then be like, how many are about just opinions? And then we could have kind of like build up our opinion on top of that, right? Just to like add a little bit of more like factual information to today's episode.
That's
But
his opinion. I feel that today's episode is going great because
I mean,
it's
it's
very
going
organic.
great. I'm not saying it's going bad.
It's clearly based in our opinion and our own experiences, which, you know, your own experiences and your own stories can serve as a fact, right? So again, one of the prompts that we have here, by the way, like full transparency, right? We utilize ChatGPT to. I utilize ChatGPT. I put the title of the podcast, right? And be like, hey, we're talking about this today. Can you give us some talking points? And it gave us like 8, and some of them were great. Some of them were not. Get me some talking points. But, you know, as you read those, right? For example, one is like the role of the listener in determining the importance of accuracy and opinion in the medium, in podcasting, what we're talking about, right? So you as a listener, right? Think about the podcast in your rotation, right? If you listen, if you do believe that person, right? We listen. You know, one of my favorite podcasts is My First Million. They talk about businesses and things, and they're constantly, you know, going through case studies and all these things. So I honestly believe they've both done it, right? They both sold companies, they both invest in companies. So in that topic, I do believe them. So you as a listener, right? Do you actually believe that? And I think that's given in the form of downloads and listening and, you know, growth of the show, where that's the only way that we can interact in that medium, unless you're sending us messages over social media, which I encourage you to do. But anyways, I think that's something important to consider, right? And for the podcast host or for the show host to be able to read that feedback, making sure that we delivered a good episode, a good product, good stories.
Yeah. I mean, I do believe the more you grow and the more people you have, you know, following you and listening to your message, the more of a responsibility you have of sharing factual information.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that should not take away from having your own opinion. And honestly, if you have a big audience, you probably already have a very strong opinion about something that those people are kind of like being attracted to.
That's right. So if you've experienced something like that with your own opinion, somebody else's, like you've consumed some content that maybe, like, you know, it tickles and you're like, no, I don't, you know, I don't agree with that. Tickles. Or right, you actually agree, right? Or you even had your own experience trying to be polarizing and trying to put your opinion out there, and for some reason it's gone south, like what happened in the studio, right? It's gone south a couple of times here in the podcast, which is okay. It's part of the learning experience. Let us know. We want to hear over social media. Send us a quick message.
Yeah, I think one last thing to add here is, I think that one of the most valuable things about being able to take a stance and sharing your opinion is that it can also make the content pretty entertaining, which at the end of the day, right, like valuable plus entertaining content is great content rather than just like valuable content that, you know, can be boring. Not gonna lie, I'm guilty of that. Am I boring? I'm having a whole existential crisis right here on the podcast. I was like, damn, am I boring? I don't think I'm boring. I think I infuse some humor on the things that I write and whatnot. And here on the podcast, we definitely have a lot of fun. But, you know, I want you to consider and look at yourself and look at your content and ask yourself if you're being opinionated, or, you know, maybe you have been afraid of going outside the lines of just like reciting factual information. So I challenge you to look yourself in the mirror, or look at your content in this case, and ask yourself if you are boring or not.
Yeah. And do you think we're boring? Do you think like this is not valuable? We would love to hear your feedback, whether
Just
that's
know that we
negative
will disagree.
or positive. Yeah, if you think this is not valuable, we disagree with them. But no, we do want to listen to your feedback. Let us know. Send us a message on social media. That's where we are. Instagram at BIZBROSCO or at Luis Camejo. You can find both of us there with an orange picture. And we would love to hear, right? We want to make sure that this platform grows with you guys. Has been coming. I think it's been the best month ever since we started the show this January of 2023. So thank you so much for the bottom of our hearts. And if you want us to talk about something very specific, let us know. More interviews coming soon, so you'll meet some awesome people in the next few weeks, and more topics and a mix of everything. So
I know.
Anything else, Fonz?
No, thank you. Let's go.
Let's go. With that said, thank you so much for tuning into the Contents Profit Podcast. Go ahead and follow the show in your favorite podcasting platform and on social media at BIZBROS.
That is right. If today's episode helped you move one step closer towards your goal, please don't forget to share it and leave a 5-star review, or just leave us your opinion about it.
Or just.
All right.
Bye-bye, guys.